So this conference was really, really interesting. It's the 39th International Conference on Environmental Geochemistry and Health, and the first time it was held in Nigeria. And then I just had to prepare that first day of the month, and off I went for the conference. And the first day had the pre-conference workshop on scientific writing skills, and then afterwards I had to meet with some of my friends, and we took some shots, both from the west, the north, and the south as well. And then my students too that attended, it was really, really awesome. And now, no dull moments with the secretary of IMGA, Dr. Desmond, always at what he knows how to do best. And then here's my friend, Dr. Lanio, and then Faith from Uganda. I really, really appreciate the time I had. At the cocktail, I met my friends, and it was really awesome. We had some time out that Monday evening, and it was really good. We did, and we had some exchange and collaborative talks afterwards. And then the second day had my friend Dr. Ajayi presenting her paper, and afterwards we had to take this short, and it was really good, getting to see my old friends again. And then afterwards, my other friends also came around to see me, and it was really interesting. Okay, is it just about academics? No, we really have time to take care of ourselves. Good meal, sumptuous meal, very, very good for the brain and everything. So here is my colleagues too from Unigers, and it was good. And then the next day I had to prepare for my own presentation. It was my presentation day, and then it was also the day I co-chaired with my boss, Professor Latunji. Yeah, okay. So after the co-chairing, the next thing was to present my paper. It was really interesting, and then a lot of discussions came up afterwards. And I love the fact that I also listened to others, and they asked several questions, and it was really good.
or
We
more.
looked at
We just selected
what
this one
is
that
actually
decided to work
obtainable in the
environment.
environment,
First of all, we
especially
look
as
at
in regards to my paper
the factors
presentation.
human
Wow,
and
the
animal
discussion was
present
good to
around the
go,
area
and
in
I love
question.
that. And it
In
also opened
Abakaliki
room for
mine area,
further
or
and
in Ogun
conversations
State, we
with
have about
other
30 local
researchers.
governments.
And
But out
for
of
that,
these
I'm
30 local
grateful, and
governments, 11
I
local
really
governments
appreciate
have
that
a lot of
session. So
pits,
that
abandoned
wasn't
pits,
just all.
mined here and there. And then we have situations where there have been accidents, either animals or humans falling into those pits. And that's what my next slide will show. But before then, we also have a case of those abandoned pits, depending on the depth, also enhancing erosion and landslides in the area. And then before we now talk about the geochemical activities, and here, sometime in 2021, I know everybody knows about what happened in Zamfara, but sometime in 2021, we had a situation where people that were traveling, some politicians anyway, they fell into one of the pit lakes without knowing there was a pit lake. And not until that time did the government of the Ogun State take it as something very, very serious to work on, so that whichever mining company weighed out all the pit lakes in the state, and you can imagine where you have 11 local governments filled with pits. So it's really a serious problem in the area. So that's aside. We now look at the geology of the area. Principally, it's Abakaliki shale that we have in this area, where we have lead zinc mineralization, and everybody is seriously interested in getting this. And then you have good exposures of this within the plastic wet shales in the area. And sometimes you also have the shales baked because of the intrusive rocks around that zone too.
So it was time to prepare for the field work on the
It
last day
also
of the
became
conference. And
more
here we
popular
are at
for
Andoka
lithium
village in Nasarawa
and
state,
other
and it was really, really
elements.
interesting. In fact, our
We
field
know
guide
that
from
the
NGSC did a very good
geology
job,
of
and
here
I
is
must commend him for
basically
that. So let me
lying
just give you
within
some time to
what we have
listen
now
and
defined as
hear what he got to say.
the central basement domain. We have this group of pegmatites associated with the Pan-African granites in the western domain. We also have it in the eastern domain. Of course, you know, around the Cross River and the urban areas, you have these pegmatites. But the striking thing about here is that we've been able to map more than 12 different pegmatite bodies, and the one we are on now in Doka is among uh, the the largest, both in width and in extent, over nearly 2 kilometers of pegmatite and over 400 meters wide. It goes all the way. If we're heading to the west to another community where we have also worked, we know as Angwan Malam. So we are in Angwan Doka, then you also have Angwan Malam, Gaita. All these areas, you have different pegmatite bodies. The other interesting thing, of course, we know that the major country rocks here are schist, and of course some biotite granite. We have a little bit of challenge, especially for some of us who also specialize in geophysics when we try to explore for these minerals. I mean, trying to guide the geologists, um, especially when you have these pegmatites intruding the granitic body, then the contrast you expect won't be there because their responses will almost be the same. So, but where you're lucky, the pegmatite intrudes the older, the sheets, the amphibolites, then you can be able to establish um, some contrast. In the geochemistry, we also make use of a lot of the gamma ray spectrometric data, so radiometric data. That can also help in trying to give you zero down where you have to investigate, even within the pegmatite. So those variations on the radiometric data, you could see those variations. While for the magnetics, as I said, because of that little contrast, you might not be able to differentiate them so much. But for geochemistry, good. So if you have the LCT, then there are certain mineral associations you have with it, like increases in the first pass, the abatization that you could witness. Those things are things we try to see how the radiometric data would behave and zone some of those areas where we have this. And we've seen that it's been useful because if we map out all the areas where we are having workings now and try to superimpose them on the radiometric data, both the airborne radiometric and the ground radiometric, which we also carry, you could see some alignment between where you have the peaks in your anomalous peaks for your potassium feldspar as against where you have thorium and the uranium as peaks. Um, so the common lithium minerals you'll be having here are basically the lepidolite and kunzite, which is a variety of spudibate. So that's it in a nutshell.
So afterwards, we took some shots. I know the pegmatite veins here are so rich you with a lot of minerals, but their mining activities also has some effects on the environment. You can see some pit lakes within the environment. Yeah, we took some snapshots with my friends. It was actually time to part, and it was really good. We came for this trip at Nasarawa State. But you know what? Some of the minerals that we found there within the pegmatic veins are so important. We have the consonite, the tourmaline was also there. We had quartz, different colors of tourmaline. Actually, we have the lepidolite, and then also marble in the place, and then fluorite as well. Some small portions of fluoride. But where you have standard mining and processing facilities, these things are easy to separate so that every mineral can go to where it belongs. And then it was time to go. Thank you, Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, for giving us your vehicle. Nigerian Mining Cadastral Office, you've done well. So that was just the experience. So it was a beautiful experience and it was awesome. So I got my certificate of presentation. Thank you and bye bye.